peaceful world. Here is another update from Ukraine from a perspective of an average citizen, a young mom, and her precious fur baby who is all over the flat with her stuff, with her photos, with her everything, but currently she's away. And in this video, I'm going to share the perspective of a plant lover as well. This is kind of a response to a special request from my friend Marina. This video is for you. You were curious about my plants. You keep hearing about me doing some replanting, I don't know, poisoning parasites and so on. And I figured that this is not enough to send just photos. You need to know all the stories all together, coherently. That's what I'm gonna do. But in case you're wondering how we're doing here in Ukraine in general, we're doing okay. Some Russian rockets seem to have been destroyed last night, which makes all of us very happy. My family is okay. Mia is going through a completely new phase thing. I don't know, it's a completely different baby. I'm going to make a video about that too. But today the stage is theirs. You know, my beautiful, beautiful plants. So what do you need to know about these three? Especially you, Marina. So these are called myrtles. I love them very much. In general, I am a lover of plants that look like little trees, you know, bonsai kind of things. But they say that bonsais are really hard to please. So I do not dare to get those quite yet. But this is the best I can do for now. And these are not the first myrtles that we're having. In fact, last year on my birthday, it was Shman's present to me. This gorgeous, at least, you know, in my opinion, plant was a myrtle. It was very tall. It had a very, very long stem, long trunk, much longer than these guys. These just look like babies compared to that one. And once Shman asked me about the name of the plant, and I told him, Myrtle communis, because that's what was written on the pot. And Shman didn't hear me well, and he said, "What communist?" And from then on, that plant, that myrtle, the very first myrtle, was called a communist. And his fate was sad, short, and it died as communism did. So he had some parasites, I don't remember the name, but they are these like flowery something, white tiny insects with really scary bodies. They look like monsters. So he had those. We treated it and it was fine. And then something else. So it was not a happy experience. I think it was with us for about 5 months, and then it was decommunized. Because it was trimmed really severely in an attempt to save it. Anyway, it died. That's all. Story was over. But I couldn't live without myrtles. So on my due date, on the 27th of August last year, it was boiling hot outside. We were playing Pokemon Go. There was some event day, and that's one. Out of nowhere, just in the supermarket, I saw these two, this one and this one, gorgeous representatives of the kind, and we got it. And you can see they're doing quite fine. They have been recently reported. I love them. This one was bought on the first day of spring this year. It's a different kind of a myrtle. It doesn't have leaves. It looks a bit like a pine, but really it's not. I hope it will survive. So yeah, that's it. That's the first portion. Hi, and it already took me 4 minutes. You know, I can talk about flowers forever. So, myrtles. I love myrtles. Let's move on to the next members of the family. We can say hi to Sir Charles. Sir Charles, say hi. Sir Charles, will ya? Okay. That's too revealing. Yes. And Miss Molly, come. The doggies are saying hi. They are like, why are you talking about stupid plants, not us? It's either the stupid baby or the plants. Okay. The baby is not stupid, guys. She's just very small. Okay? It's gonna get better. But okay. So the next member, the ZZ plant. It is really, 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 really big. And it used to be in this tiny pot that was maybe this size. And we were certain that it required a much bigger pot because the first one was, I think, about 4 liters. And it looked ridiculous because it looked like the pot was about to fall under the weight of this massive giant. And very surprisingly, once we got it out of the old pot, it turned out that the roots are really small. So all the growth is happening right here. And we planted it in this huge 10-liter, like bucket-sized pot. And I think it's for the best because, theoretically, now it will grow in the roots, not right here, because if it gets any bigger, I do not know where to place it, where to hide it. There is a cat, there is Mia, there are the dogs. So this is easy plant, and it was presented to me by Natasha, Marina, Natasha, our close friend, on my last birthday. So this is also, a sweet touch of love and friendship, connection, and anytime I look at it, I can miss Natasha, think of Natasha, and hope that the stupid war will be over soon, and all of us will be walking here with our babies. Because Natasha also gave birth last year in June, and actually, she is my husband's goddaughter, and she is exactly 3 months older than Mia. She was born on the 6th of June, Mia was born on the 6th of September. So, Natasha, this is a plant. Yeah, but we call it Zakakulka because the real name is Zamiakulkas. Zamiakulka, Zakakulka, it comes really close. You guys who do not know Russian do not see the pun, but basically, this play of words makes this plant sounds like shit. The name of this plant, right? So it's like shitty plant, I don't know, Zakakulka. It's cute, I love it. This is a cactus I got last year when I was pregnant. I got it after getting like 8 other plants already, and when Jman saw it, he was not elated, to say the least. And he was quite angry, and he told me like, this has to stop, we cannot keep on going this way, blah 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 blah. And I'm very grateful to this cactus because in a few weeks it blossomed. And it was, and it still is, the only plant that blossomed and gave us flowers in this family. So it kind of softened the blow, like, you see, I didn't get just another plant, I got a blossoming plant. So it's a very good cactus, which was dropped by Meow Meow a few weeks ago, and then I was too busy with Mia, and it spent a couple of weeks just laying on a plate, a regular plate, upside down, basically on its side. I could see that the roots were fantastic, no fungi, no anything, no rotting. But it had to wait. It had to wait to be relocated, and yeah, eventually it was, and everything is cool, and I hope it will show us some of those gorgeous tiny pink flowers again. They look a bit like these roses on my dress, actually. Yeah. So yeah, that's another thing. And let's move on to the next portion. So this is Hyperastrum. I don't remember the name, okay? But it's a lovely plant, which also, of course, it has a, oh my god, 9 minutes already. So the funny story behind this plant. I'm a control freak, and I requested this plant. It was sold in our local supermarket on one, stupid old holiday. Shman got it for me, and I thought that it was gonna, bloom, and then I would just throw it out. But then I read about it, and it turned out that it is a normal plant, and yeah, after blooming it's gonna get boring, but then next year it can bloom again, so there is no reason for me to throw it out. But the most interesting fact about it is that the blooming time can be controlled. And it is a little bit funny that unconsciously I even choose plants which can be controlled. That is really funny. This orchid, one of the many plants I got when I was pregnant. I got it because it had a phalaenopsis kind. It had a very, very beautiful color of its flowers. Guess what? Now I do not remember the color of the flowers because of which I got this orchid. So I really look forward to it blossoming. As you can see, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I removed all these stems because they completely dried out, and that's what you should do with your phalaenopsis. According to some experts, you should always leave them be. So I do not know. I have a little bit of hope. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it. You see the teeny tiny bump between the leaves right there. So it's either, oh, you cannot see it, but it's either this new stem with flowers or a new root or a new leaf. Currently, I cannot tell. So I hope someday it will have the flowers again, and I will find out the color that impressed me so much that forced me to buy this orchid, even though I swore I would never buy orchids again. Yeah, cypress. I love cypress. They always die on me. This one is about to die. Nothing to do with this one. This is a funny cactus. I call it the gentle cactus, the sensitive cactus, because it spent a few weeks on my windowsill in the kitchen last year. That is the sunniest side in my flat, and it got sunburns. That's how I learned that cacti can get sunburns. I googled it. That's what happened. I did not know that you can treat the sunburns on cacti at the time. So anyhow, I'm pretty sure it's either rotting or it's kind of froze, but I do not have the heart to scrap it just yet. So let it be. Who knows? It's a decorative object that doesn't look perfect, but who is perfect, right? There is nothing perfect. And yeah, my favorite ever plant, my phalaenopsis. This was the first ever plant in our flat, which I got before the war, 1 month before the war. It was, again, a tiny phalaenopsis. It had purple flowers, pink purple flowers. It was beautiful. And then the war started, we evacuated and we left it. The first time we returned home for a brief visit just to pick up some stuff was in March, I think, maybe for 3 weeks. This guy had been abandoned here alone. And when we came back home, it was alive. It did not die. It was still blooming. It was so beautiful. So I evacuated it, and it spent a few month with us in the village when we were away from home, and it did not die. It just kept blooming and being amazing and beautiful, but sadly it did not take the relocation back home too well. I suppose I don't know, the change in the humidity levels or the amount of sun it got was too bad. So it doesn't look great on the one hand. On the other hand, it keeps giving us this new leaves, and there are a couple of new roots, so I've given it another life. It spent a long time growing those roots in just water, but yeah, this is what we have for now. And of course a Scotty cup from my ex-friend Anya, but the cup is great. Anya is also fine, I just have my personal issues. Yeah, that's it. Let's wrap it up, guys. It's taken me too long talking about these flowers. Let's run. I'm gonna run. Yes, the last portion. This is the newest plant. This is a cactus. This is a present from my mom on, the spring holidays. Then my palms, Dracaenas. I guess they're called the same in English, right? This one is Dracaena compacta. I don't remember the name of that one. They are doing fine. I've never had too many issues with them. This one was bought using, the money my friends presented to me. And Marina, I think you bought it, but you remember. So this is from Vasya and Sarah. This is Sarah. This is Vasya. Yes, I love this one very much. And these 3, 2, and here is this number 3. These are ficuses, and I love them very much because I think ficuses are very much like dogs, you know. It's like one species, but there is so much variation in the way it looks. And that's cool. That's cool. This actually was got by means of propagation. You know, this is a baby of this one. And this ficus used to have a pot that looked like a boat. That's why its name was Captain. And since that one is its baby, it was called Sergeant. But now that the pots are different, this one is just Mr. Handsome because it looks really cute. I'm saying that if I was that Leon Killer, you know, main hero, this would be my plans to carry around. Very portable, very cute. Mr. Handsome. Yeah, and this is Benjamina. Benjamina is nice. Another ficus, you know, and now you know it all. Yeah, if you still have some questions about my plans, feel free to ask me, but I think you're already sick of it. So, yeah, I love my plants. I really haven't told you all I could, because this one also suffered from some parasites and it received for a very long time, but I'm gonna end it. So have a nice spring. You know, spring is the time to flourish, to bloom. And may all of you feel like beautiful flowers this day. And I'm going to come back to you soon with some more meaningful information. And this one is mainly for you, Marina. Love you, miss you. See ya.